We have a listener. Now, if I know anything about people like you, and trust me, I have a fairly good understanding, you do not know much about life among monsters and under gods. Never fear, dear listener, for I can be your guide through this tumultuous journey into our troublesome world. That is, if you're bold enough to accompany me. You see, if you truly want to know the fates of our beloved heroes, you must brave the murkiest of waters, the darkest of forests, and the sweetest of shops. Does that worry you? It probably should, but if you're still listening, welcome to Roanoke. A monster attack is nothing new. For hundreds of years, the colonies and townships of New England have been plagued by them. The most unlucky have been very nearly destroyed by such devastating instances. Yet, like with most civilizations stumbling into modernity, New England evolved. They grew larger, grew smarter. Some have highly trained militias, others erected walls scraping the sky. Roanoke, well, Roanoke didn't do any of that. There are no walls. The militia is merely volunteer. They have just a forest, fields, and a distant sea. All of it is located on a small island continent of beautiful, terrible creatures, which, as is their right, sometimes attack a town. So, to survive a monster attack, what do? You become a worse monster.
So everybody just locks their doors and hopes for the best?
Normally, you're not half a kilometer from town and get locked out.
Then we try every door! Someone's gotta let us in.
No, they really won't. Whatever's out there is gonna be here soon enough, and we need to get out of the open.
What was the last time?
A herd of alicorns.
The term monster attack could be a little misleading. Each one was a lethal and destructive snowflake, no two alike. Monsters only attack occasionally, some in a stampede, some alone. Some are just passing through. Some are attracted to noise, others are out for blood. One can never know until it is too late. Either way, it's not best to test their patience and capabilities. Most houses these days are reinforced and have a built-in bunker. But when you're stranded on the edge of town, that is little comfort to you. Edith and Bentley have taken off running, but town is still on the horizon, and the forest behind them is too close for comfort. Every moment out in the open feels like a death sentence. Edith's mind has gone blank from panic, until she turns her head and sees it.
Bentley, the Crow House!
Oh, hell no, Sprinkles.
You said it! We can't stay out in the open. Let's at least regroup there and get any other plan together.
Fine, but no getting distracted.
The duo has finally made it. The trepidation of past trips has been overpowered by the whirls of sirens and the looming realization that they are out of time. Edith pounds up the steps and pulls open the door, and Bentley barely even bristles as he passes through the shadowed doorway. Edith casts one glance at the browning grass, the incoming fog, and the unsuspecting tree line before slamming the door shut.
I say we find anything we can use and get the hell out of here.
But if we leave now, we're just at higher risk.
Edith, this place could blow over with a strong enough breeze, and we're still on the edge of town. We've been screwed the minute those sirens went off.
I'm not leaving until you think of where else we could go.
Ugh.
Edith walks further inside, crossing the foyer towards the stairs. She passes the dining/storage room from, well, it was just earlier today the two were here. These two kids are making me work overtime. She's about to enter the sitting room beside the twin staircases when the house fights back.
Edith!
The wood support beam over the room threshold has just collapsed, barring off the room. Bentley has his hand wrapped around Edith's arm. All the two can do is stare at the board for a moment. Then Edith becomes all too aware of everything else, sliding out of his grip.
My hero.
Ugh, I didn't follow you in here just to see you.
Right. I'm too stubborn to do that. And thank you, Bentley.
Just go.
Edith carefully ducks under the support beam, and there seems to be a bit of red peeking out from underneath Bentley's scowl.
Whoa.
The space has opened up to a lounge with couches and coffee tables all over. Edith can see where it might have been luxurious, in the stitching of the carpet, the large brick fireplace, the outrageously colored pillows, but it has since rotted away, laid to rest under a pile of dust. The duo spreads out, the space much easier to comprehend than the horribly messy dining room. While Bentley stalks over to the fireplace, Edith approaches one of the low tables. She debates sitting on one of the couches, but decides against it, probably for the best. Instead, she hunches over the surface and wipes a hand across it, waving away a cloud of dust. She finds herself face to face with monsters. Yellowing pages filled with monsters of swirling ink litter to the surface. At the top is a textbook image of a hydra, slithering heads and draconic torso, but peeking out from under it is another hydra.
Wait a minute.
But it's all wrong. Or not wrong, just incomplete. It lacks the polish of the other sketch, and a few details are off. Edith goes through the rest of the papers. The next few are sketches of individual body parts. Claws here, heads there, then a construction of how they would all fit together. One big puzzle that she can't make sense of, even with the answer sheet in front of her.
But who's taking apart monsters? You need to use the Hydra's own poison to kill it. The last thing you want to do is chop pieces off.
She puts the papers down, moving on to the next closest table.
The manticore. But it's missing its wings, and the spikes aren't in the right formation. And this one is just scribbled out, halfway finished.
No artist is perfect, Edith. As she continues to flip through the pages and pages of monsters and rejects, her brow just furrows deeper.
These are almost like designs. But that's ridiculous. Who would design monsters? It's not like you can make them. This would probably be just a cataloger or a historian. Yeah. Except we would have seen their work by now. Either in a textbook or the literal town archives. And I know I've never seen anything like this before.
Are you talking to yourself again?
Yes, because none of this makes... What the heck is that?
What, this?
Bentley brandishes an incredibly sharp and rusted fire poker.
Don't point that at me!
We're supposed to be looking for anything helpful. I think a tool made for stabbing is pretty useful to our needs right now, Sprinkles.
Just come take a look at these and keep the business end of that thing away from me.
They're drawings.
Incredibly detailed, formulaic, and design-oriented drawings.
What? You think someone was... I don't even know what.
Frankly, neither do I. But it is weird, right?
I mean, I guess, but I think we have more important things going on.
Sure. Yes, okay, you're right. Let's keep looking.
Bentley sees right through her, and with an eye roll squares up with his fire poker and begins jabbing the wall with it, a dark look passing over his face. Edith walks to the far wall, to the object in the room demanding her attention, an ornate vanity. It's the most preserved object in the room, rot in dust and destruction peculiarly absent from it. An obscenely large, circular mirror rests on the wall, and drawers line the space around the desk. It's the type of vanity to have compartments everywhere and to hold secrets, to kiss and never tell. Unless you really pique its interests. It's seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, and Edith wishes it could talk. Against her better judgment, she is compelled to sit in the seat before it.
Whew. Didn't break. What on earth?
The drawer is filled to the brim with crumbling sunflowers, brown and shriveled.
Do these go...
Edith!
Oh my god!
What is it?
With a shaking hand, Edith's hand emerges, with 2 eyeballs cupped in it. Bentley stumbles back, gagging. One eye is regular, human-sized, but with a triangular pupil and bloodshot with purple veins. The other is the size of a human heart, jet black except for a white pupil, the cornea cratered in.
Oh my god, get rid of them!
They're still wet!
Ugh, just drop them!
Wait a minute!
Oh, thank God.
Look! They're the same eyes as this drawing!
Never mind, I'd take it back, dude. She just brought a whole new level of crazy in.
Bentley!
Edith, you just manhandled actual eyeballs.
And I didn't do it because it was fun, so get your butt over here!
I cannot believe I just followed you into an abandoned house during a literal monster attack only to... Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Next to the black pearl of an eye is a sketch of none other than the Kraken's anatomy, with a close-up of the eye.
It's dead on.
And this eye looks as if it was made for it, but it's broken, damaged.
But it's just a replica, right?
That eye goop felt pretty real. Ugh.
The flowers were old, though.
What the hell is going on here?
Talk about House of Horrors.
I'm checking the other drawers.
You really want to keep playing that roulette game?
It would be faster if you helped.
Fine. You take the left, I take the right.
And so they begin rifling through the drawers. It's stuffed with body parts and botanical wonders, like they are arts and crafts materials. Nails and blades of grass, strands of hair of every color and texture, braided like thread. Sewing needles and materials suspiciously like skin. Pressed leaves and berries.
Bones. Okay, there's a bone drawer.
Oh, this one has makeup in it.
Well, at least we know this wasn't part of the owner's skincare routine. This totally messes with your theory, Edith.
Which part? The fact that they have purple, black, and blue eyeliner, or...
No, that they're designing monsters.
You were listening to that?
Yes. Okay, you're not as quiet as you think, and if they were designing monsters, they definitely couldn't be making them. You can't make a manticore with flowers.
Not that we know of.
Edith, if you bring up witches, I am walking out of this house.
Witches?
We don't have time for this. This was a dead end to begin with, and...
I got distracted, didn't I?
We're out of time. We have to go.
Go where? Your only community bunker is on the other side of town.
We can't stay here. This place is literally falling apart. Do you really think this place can hold up to one rampaging monster? Much less a herd? We have to...
Great! I'm in a position where I can't plan my way out and you have no idea what to do.
What? Is this so foreign to you that you can't function?
Yes, Bentley, because this doesn't happen back home and I am scared out of my mind.
Oh.
All Aunt Linda told me was to follow everyone else's lead, and you're all I got right now.
So, I have to take the lead?
I am counting on you.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my god.
The school. That hellhole might be our savior.
How?
Well, they don't use it as a community shelter anymore. But it's got to be able to hold up during the school year.
That's great, but we'll never make it over there in time.
We won't if we don't run. Like, now. You've put my trust in me for less, and I'm not going to let someone else I care about die.
You're right. Lead the way. I'll watch your back.
It's on site with the next monster I see. I am so done with this godforsaken town.
The two bolt, the sirens and roaring, a soundtrack of doom outpacing their steps. As they race away from the vanity, neither of them look back, so they both miss the paper drifting off the desk. As it hits the ground, it uncurls, and it is a draft of a familiar map. A tree smoted with the wrath of a god, an unsuspecting colony encircled by a forest in a world much, much bigger than any man can understand. But this is not the story we are following in this time. Not yet. Instead, we are following two kids on the brink of survival or death. Bentley gets to the door, holding it open for Edith, and they race out of the house.
Oh, where... No.
Bentley slows to a stop, turning back. Standing in the grass is a girl he has never seen before, and as a lifetime citizen of Roanoke, who keeps a long mental tally of every person he has offended and angered over the years, this is an experience he rarely feels. Now, in the span of hardly 2 weeks, he has felt it twice with 2 different girls. She's a distance away, and the more he tries to look at her, the harder it gets to make her out, as if she's blurry.
Hey, you shouldn't be...
The girl suddenly looks around wildly, hearing his voice but unable to see where it's coming from, which is strange, seeing as Bentley is only a few meters away, looking right at her face.
Bentley! What are you looking at?
Bentley turns back, looking for Edith. She had run ahead, angling for town, not noticing her partner had stopped. He looks back at the girl. Only, she's gone.
I thought I heard something. Just keep going.
He sprints ahead, pulling Edith along. She grips his hand, hard, as they fly towards Roanoke on foot. Every day you wake up and think you've seen it all. Even the best of us can be proven wrong. There's always something new under the sun if you cause enough trouble. The fog has properly rolled in despite the flaring sunset overhead. It coats everything, as tall as houses, and blurring the once familiar town. Roanoke appears lit on fire, as red as the emergency system blaring on street corners. Edith and Bentley hold on to one another as they head deeper into town in the blinding unknown. The duo make it to some houses on the outskirts, and Edith splits off, trying doors, trying anything. Bentley follows suit, more pessimistic, but humoring her. They're out of time, and the school is still so far. They might as well try.
Locked!
This one's a bust. Forget it, Edith. It's the Johnsons' house. They wouldn't open the door if it was their dog.
I'm not above breaking windows, Bentley.
Well, enjoy buckshot sprinkles. People will just think you're the monster. We have to keep moving.
Edith shakes herself and follows after him, cursing herself. She knows he's right, and she hates this town for it. They make a break for the main drag of the town. Roanoke is abandoned, not even ghosts inhabiting it. Edith has to swallow down a scream, knowing that any stray sound can lead the monsters closer. She has biked the straightaway of Main Street countless times on her way to work, but this is a nightmare. All mundanity lost in a haze. Edith keeps looking to the direction of the forest, now long out of sight, awaiting the moment something finally bursts through. And on multiple occasions, she meets Bentley's worried eye as he does the same. He won't admit it to her, but he's not sure if they can make it, because that roaring has gotten awfully close, and they're flying blind now. Far above them, huge shadows begin sweeping the sky.
Duck!
In the fire of sunset, the sight is nearly beautiful, and their call is almost like a sob as a pair of birds dive-bomb them, gliding ahead.
Horticultures, actually.
You mean the birds that are an omen of death?
And feed on your heartbreak? Yeah. Run faster!
But the birds were only the beginning. A hulking creature hurtles onto the street in front of them, muscles rippling, lion's mane flapping in the breeze, spines glittering in the dying sun. This beautiful specimen is dripping with violence.
A manticore.
And then another soars out from behind a building, and then another bounding on foot, and then suddenly it is an entire pride parading onto Main Street. Bentley and Edith skid to a stop, immediately trying to run back.
This way!
Bentley skids into an alleyway, Edith hot on his heels. The manticore is too large to fit into the alleyway. It shakes itself off and takes to the air, the rest of the pride thinning out. Only people who have lived, and survived, the Roanoke lifestyle can fully understand how much like an emporium they are. Whereas other towns have adapted to their monstrous homes, Roanoke's strategy was simply to let live. This, oddly enough, has worked for them, allowing them an idyllic New England lifestyle with just a few hiccups. People normally walk away unscathed. Mostly. There's only a few people that, well, when you go to an emporium, you're typically not supposed to touch things. One could say that they did not follow that rule. But what an experience they get, seeing these beautiful creatures up close in terrible, awesome majesty. Such fine specimens. Only a certain mind could create them. And a small island continent is such a perfect place for them, don't you think? I have no idea why Edith and Bentley are not savoring this moment. Truly, it escapes me. Luckily for the duo, Bentley knows this town like the palm of his hand. Together they barrel through back streets and yards, tumbling towards the high school. They're not fast enough. Little human legs are not enough when faced with the powerful wings of a manticore. Edith glances back just as its terrifying shape eclipses her view, a shadow passing over her.
Bentley!
Edith was just able to collide with Bentley, throwing them both out of the manticore's course. Its failed dive sends it skidding across the road, but with great pulse of its wings, the manticore rises again, the pride pouring in behind it.
Come on! Get up!
The school is in sight, those dreadful, double-wide doors promising broken hearts, disappointment, and rarely salvation. Edith hauls Bentley up and they sprint for all they are worth, the manticore roaring behind them. Bentley's longer legs beat Edith and he throws open the door. Edith flies inside, barely stopping as she turns her head to see Bentley slam the door, throwing his body across it while flipping open a panel beside it. Edith had never noticed. The glass flips up to reveal 2 buttons, and Bentley's fist collides with the big red one. For emergencies, if there ever was one. A thick metal panel slides over the door. Bentley turns and runs, backing into Edith along the way, dragging her back. Distantly, the sounds of other metal panels can be heard slamming shut all across the school. The school is dark, just the red lights of the sunset spiking through the windows. They make it to the end of the hall, a fork in the road. The metal behind them pops inward, dented.
Will it hold?
How am I supposed to know? This school is a piece of...
I think they lost interest.
I can't believe that worked.
I've never seen anything like this.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
You know what I mean. Where do you go for drills?
Oh, don't worry about that. We're not going there.
Pardon?
I'm not dealing with some stuffy cellar they put us all in. Besides, the lock doesn't even work. So we might actually die if we go down there. And trust me, I don't want to die with you.
I can assure you the feeling is mutual. But we might die just as well if we don't do something.
Sprinkles, I am so far beyond caring right now. You said you'd follow my lead, so get to it.